This is the Captain's Jug of Thoughts podcast. Recorded at the Ontario House. The Stone Jug.
Don't say that. I'm playing a character like Mr. Imus.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, it's the Captain's Jug of Thoughts. We're here. It's story time.
Story time, everybody. Good evening.
A guest of honor.
Mr. Randy Benyon is here to join us this evening.
Hey, how's everyone doing?
So he's going to help me along the ways through a nice little Grateful Dead tale.
Yes, he's our official poster printer.
Yeah.
That's who, yeah.
At a store in Lewiston.
Oh, no, that gives it away.
Oh, no, that gives
Not
it away.
FedEx.
I mean, his character.
I don't work at FedEx.
Yeah.
Okay, the Grateful Dead. We love the Grateful Dead. There's gonna be a lot of Grateful Dead music at the Jug this summer. That's for sure.
There is.
So we're taking it back.
Yeah.
We're getting in the DeLorean, going back to what year?
1994.
Yeah. 25 years ago now.
25 years ago this June, this story is from, which is amazing to me because I don't know where the last 25 years went, but here we are.
Yeah.
It went pretty quick.
Sure did. So it all starts with, that myself and Randy here and most of our friends were what you would consider young deadheads, I suppose. And so we did a little touring around, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know?
One trip was till D.C. that year. It was a good trip.
Yep, and that's
And that's where the story is.
where the story takes place.
Where did they play in D.C.? There's
RFK Stadium,
RFK.
which is no longer even there.
Yeah, it was a crazy, crazy stadium because the subway used to come right near the stadium there, the above ground subway. So if whoever partaked in balloons, if you timed it right, the echoing of that subway that went above the tracks, everyone saw that subway coming, and everyone rushed to get balloons or had balloons and just waited. Because about every 20, 30 minutes, that subway would come by. And the echoing of that, plus the stuff that was in the balloons, was one heck of an echo in your head.
Yeah. Right.
It was really, really cool place.
It was a really cool place.
I used to have I had a friend who lived by the airport, and I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait
exactly.
for it.
You got the train schedule.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Pre-iPod, but it was our internet, but they were pretty much on time.
Yeah. Yeah, they knew what they were doing.
So it's a good setting.
Yeah, so it's a 2 nights, right?
Yeah, it was a two-nighter.
Two nights at RFK Stadium.
It was probably late June of '94, if everyone wants to look at a set up. But Bruce Hornsby, who lives in Virginia, accompanied him both times on stage with a big grand piano, and him and Jerry going back and forth.
They battled. It was one of the
awesome.
sickest things I ever saw in my life.
Yeah.
Because he toured with them in the early '90s or late '80s for 1 year, and those Dead tapes are unbelievable.
Yep.
Yeah.
But if you had a chance to see him live, I think that might have been one of the last times he played with him. I think it was the last time he played with
I'm
Jerry.
pretty sure it was the last time.
Yeah. And
that he played with Jerry.
Yeah, with Jerry, because Jerry died about a year and
Change later.
like 4 or 5 months later.
Yeah.
Maybe
14 months later.
Yeah.
He died in August, I think.
August of
Yeah.
95.
Yeah,
So
I'm
yeah, 14
pretty
months.
99% sure that was the last time he played with him.
Yeah, I agree. I'm pretty sure it was
Yeah.
too. But
If you don't know, Bruce Hornsby played the piano in that Tupac song.
Yeah. Little known fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one.
Yep. This, Hornsby is he's incredible.
Yeah.
And it was, you kind of saw it, I mean, at least I remember it this way. Hornsby almost like trying to take over the show. And Jerry was like, hold on a second, buddy.
Yeah.
This is still my fucking band.
Yeah.
You know?
They would battle back and forth for
I
sure.
could see
But
that. That's funny. But that's cool. That makes like a tension
Yeah.
where each one of them is going to be playing better.
Dude, it was so fucking cool.
when they rolled out the grand piano, because you were there, before they came on stage to see, I think it might have been Dylan that opened up for him.
Dylan.
Bob Dylan?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I know.
And then,
It was quite a show.
Yeah.
Then, they take time, they clear the whole stage off, and all of a sudden the grand piano would come out there.
Everyone's like, oh,
and everyone's, oh, Bruce is here. Bruce is here.
Yeah.
And then the second night, it was Bruce was here again. Everyone was
It was.
like he would take
If you're
over.
from Buffalo, you would know.
Yeah,
Bruce
with the
chant,
Bruce
yeah.
chants.
Yep.
So early night, yeah. There's like Bruce was getting a sack.
Yeah, it was.
It was a crazy, crazy time.
It was a really crazy time. It was,
Yeah.
and we were super young.
Yeah, yeah. Early 20s, and Chris, I think, was 17,
I was
maybe
like
18.
17 or 18. Yeah.
It was graduation summer for these guys.
Yeah. Like,
So there
we missed a couple graduation parties
Yeah.
when we were away seeing the dead.
Oops.
People were
Might
like,
have-
you weren't at my graduation party. I was like, yeah.
That's a great
I was like,
graduation.
not for nothing, but I think I had more fun.
Yeah, I was good.
I was good.
Yeah, I think now that I think of it, it was the same deal with me. I never had like a graduation party, but I did go. Like we went across to a bunch of festivals and a bunch of shows. We just
Sure.
spent the
Yeah.
summer party. I'm
Why
like,
not?
that's yeah.
the way
Did
to
you
do
have
it,
your
man.
cousin's band play? That's cute.
That's cute. Yeah,
Went
exactly.
to a festival with every band you'd ever want to see in the
Yup.
same weekend.
Some great aunt would
Right.
crush your lips, kissed you. Well, I think
Yeah.
I had a better time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you got an envelope of cash. My
Yeah.
envelope had other stuff in it.
Yeah,
It was fun.
it was green too.
Yeah.
It was green too. So, was it the first night?
It was the first night.
You guys got in an accident,
Yeah,
right?
let me go take it back to when that happened.
Okay, yeah.
So we had 5 people in my friend's car. I was riding shotgun. There was 4 of us from around our area. Then we picked up another kid that moved outside of D.C., like right after high school. So he was like 21. And then we picked him up. He lived maybe 45 minutes outside of D.C. So he kind of knew the area, knew what roads to take and all that. So we get in the car, we pick him up, and we go to our campsite, set up our campsite because you had to stay there for 2 nights. And then set it all up. Everyone gets their tickets. You got to get the beer on ice, all this stuff. Put your clothes that you're not, put them in the car, or left them in the tents or whatever you had to do. So we start going towards RFK Stadium, which is probably, if I remember right, about a 30-minute drive from where we were camping. And all of a sudden, if anyone's ever been to D.C. or drove to D.C., it really is the city on the hill. Because you could see the Capitol building, all of a sudden, oh my God, there's the Capitol building. And all of a sudden, the big dome was right there,
Yep.
like right in front of us. And I should have said, oh, that's not the Capitol building. I should have said, there's a street cleaner ahead of us. Everybody's stopping.
I shouldn't have said.
Yeah. Oh my God. I was riding shotgun. I was like, oh, there's a Capitol building. All of a sudden, maybe 15 seconds later, went bam. We hit this car. We locked the brakes up. My friend was driving. All of a sudden, but boom. And then I was like, oh my God, here we are. And I probably didn't have a seatbelt on. It was pre-airbags. The guy probably had about an 88 Capri or whatever it was. I don't know. There was 5 of us all stepped into the car. And all of a sudden we get out and his front end hit the other guy's back end. The other guy's back end wasn't too bad. Like no lights are broken. It might have had $500-$600 worth of damage to the back end, but our car
Was fucked up.
was fucked up.
Oh no.
Both headlights were hanging out like the guy's eyes got
There was a
plucked
lot
out.
of duct tape
A
involved
lot of
after
duct
this.
tape. Yeah, a lot of duct tape.
And it was so like patriotic.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I picture you all like
Yeah, look at the street cleaner.
hand
Oops.
on the heart.
Yeah,
I pledge allegiance
Yeah.
to the
yeah.
Yep.
I guarantee we were on something.
the distraction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. And the reaction time, you know how that goes.
It was a little slower than normal.
Yeah. The brakes didn't work. I blame it on the brakes.
Right.
Yeah. So
Faulty
we hit
brakes
this
in that goddamn Capri.
car, and our headlights are hanging out like broken
Yeah.
eyeballs out
Like
of the
those-
Like eyeballs in a
Yeah.
cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Boing.
those joke
Yeah.
glasses that have the eyeballs.
like Ren
that
and
fall-
Stimpy.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So
like
you
your,
know,
like your car saw like a really hot chick.
yeah.
Yeah.
3 things to be
Perfect
hanging out
analogy.
then, not 2. So we hit this car pretty damn hard, probably 25, 35 miles an hour. Probably hit it at. So we go, oh my God, our headlights are gone. There's no way we can drive at night with this car. Let's see what we can do.
Yep.
So this is pre-internet and everything.
Was this before the show?
Right before the show.
This was
yeah,
right
we were
before the
going
show,
to the
right.
parking lot. We were going to the parking lot.
On our way to the parking lot, which if you've ever been to even a dead show in this day and age, the parking lot is quite a scene.
Oh yeah, you want to walk around for
it's like a different atmosphere than the rest of the world.
You want to get there
it
for
really is.
4 or 5 hours early.
Yeah.
Just to have a experience. You can eat, you can drink, you
Shake
can do
down
what you
street,
want. Go see what everyone's
you do it
selling.
all.
Yep.
Go see what everyone's selling.
Yeah. So
We're talking about art.
Yeah, this art. See what everyone's up to. So we have to get headlights in downtown DC. Now, if everyone's been to downtown DC, it's not the nicest neighborhood.
It's fucking horrifying.
for 5 white kids.
It really is for 5 white kids
in tie-dyes.
It is the most dramatic
You're like,
difference in neighborhoods.
it's like they're and like 5 white kids in tie dyes. It's like there's a spotlight on you. Like,
oh my god,
here we go.
Yeah.
We can get these guys.
Yeah. So we start driving around and we ask these people. They were like, "You guys, where any headlights or automotive stores?" And this is probably before AutoZone and all those other pop-up stores happened. So we have to find this place. There's one guy that says, "You guys want to go to the Smithsonian?" And I was like, no, don't ask this guy any more questions.
Don't ask this guy any more questions.
He's out of the loop.
Smithsonian.
Yeah. So we finally find this auto store that has this guy's headlights. And then we don't have any tools. There's no nothing. And then we go, how are we going to get these headlights out? And they were almost all the way out anyways. I mean, they were hanging on by a thread.
Right.
So we go to the hardware store there again, and we did all get about 2 rolls of duct tape, right? And then we get into RFK Stadium, and we took the headlights out. We more or less just ripped them out.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't any tools involved or anything. They were hanging out, and then we kind of just like placed the new headlights into the old setting where it was, and then we turned the car on. And all of a sudden, bam, we got lights.
Nice.
It was unbelievable. It was like God in the second day. First day, whatever it was.
Yeah.
We had light. So we...
the first day was just him looking for shit.
We
Bumping into
had
things.
we had to find
He
out...
said, let there be light.
Yeah, he was asking where the Smithsonian was for the first day. So we get out there and then we go, oh my God, we got lights. Here we go. So we go, okay, we're all good. We don't have to worry about this car anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. You're all high-fiving.
No more worries.
Yeah, thinking you're geniuses.
So we pulled in, and now this is all pre-cell phone and pre-planning and all these.
94.
Pre-everything.
Pre-everything.
You got the biggest map in the world.
Yeah.
And you're trying to read it in the front seat,
yeah.
blocking the driver.
Yeah. So there was 5 of us in the car, and I would think probably 10 more people, including Chris, was there.
Yep.
That we never missed a beat. We might have hooked up with him about a half hour after we pulled into the parking lot.
Right.
After.
Right.
And no one misses a beat. Everyone drags their coolers over. We have grills, or the guy next to us is selling $2 hot dogs. Or if you don't want meat, you can get a cheese sandwich for $1.
Or a peanut butter sandwich.
Yeah, anything. You just go down Shakedown. Anything. You can get beers for $1.
Yeah. It was great.
So
it's a great time.
Yeah. And then the concert starts. And then the concert. So we're in the concert, right? And then it ends probably. What time do you think they stop? 10:30, going on 11.
10:30, going on 11. Yeah, for sure.
So then after the concert, everyone mingles around. They go see same thing before. You hang around for like an hour or two until the cops come around and say, "Hey, you guys got to beat.
You got to get the fuck out of here."
So this is probably 12:30-ish, I bet. Okay, we got to get in line to go. And now we turn the headlights on, and one headlight is pointing about a 30-degree angle up, and the other one is like pointing down. So we're either checking for toads in the road or raccoons in the trees.
Right.
That's how we're driving all the way back to the campsite, which is about a half hour.
So now, in the meantime, I am in another vehicle.
Yeah.
And we're not in touch with each other.
No, no one knew. Everyone's just, okay, we'll
Everyone
see you
did their own thing.
Different
See you
campsites.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Totally different campsites, different everything.
Yeah.
Now, me and my 2 buddies are going back to our campsite. And we're so out of it,
Verklempt.
exhausted from the
long show. Yeah.
A lot of sun. You're in the sun the whole day.
That
so.
we cannot find our campsite.
Yeah.
Like we have no clue where it is. So we're just driving around basically aimlessly, and we end up in like basically downtown DC.
Yeah.
Oh man.
When we're supposed to be on the outskirts of DC.
Yeah. Anyone's ever been to DC, there's a big loop that goes around the loop. But that loop is so bad. But the inner of DC is like old school where all the historic buildings are, and then the outskirts is like, the modern buildings and all that. So you get the two different kinds of cities in one city.
Yeah.
So my friend who's driving, is he's a repetitive guy of a different shade than we all are. He's pink.
He's a little bit lighter than red, darker than white.
Yeah.
We need a drop.
He's like, Captain, where are we? Captain, where are we?
Yeah.
Captain, come on, tell me where the campsite is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Pink, I don't know where the campsite is, man.
I would tell you.
You drove.
Yeah.
You were supposed to know.
And you guys
Captain, you always know. Where is it? Stop fucking with the pink guy.
And you guys had your tent set up, right?
Yeah, we told him we had a tent
maybe
set
change
up
of clothes,
with a cooler of
maybe
beer in it.
Yeah.
Everything.
The
Everything's ready to
toothbrushes,
go.
underwear.
Everything is
Yeah.
ready to roll. Our fire is already set up. All we got to do is light it when we get there.
And then you hang around the fire and drink for a few more hours. That's how it usually went.
So
our car more or less stalled out maybe about 15 minutes back because we were in line to get out. And it stalled out once. And we were like, oh, crap. So we had to get a jump from somebody out of the blue. And then about another 5 minutes after that, it stalled out again. And we were like downtown DC. This is probably 1:30 going on 2 in the morning.
yeah, I think it was a little later than that,
Maybe,
actually.
yeah, maybe 3:30.
It was like, I think it was like almost 3.
Yeah, it was late.
From what I remember, it was really late.
Yeah.
'Cause we had been looking for our site
Yeah.
for quite some time.
Yeah. So we were down and out. The 5 of us was sitting there, and it's like there's no one around. It was dead.
There was no cars on the streets
on
because
the
we're
streets.
driving around downtown DC at this exact same time.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Yeah. So all of a sudden,
Because we're lost.
Yeah.
we were down and out, just sitting there. We're like, oh my God, what are we going to do? What are we going to get? This goddamn headlights. I blame it on the Capitol building, but you can't do that. Because it was a beautiful thing to see.
Buildings are too distracting.
Yeah, yeah.
It looks
All of a
like
sudden.
a big stone white tit.
Yeah.
It's
That's
distracting.
all it was. A big nipple on it, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were,
So now we're we're all from here.
yeah.
So we're how many miles from home?
Yeah. Yeah.
And in one of the biggest cities in the United
Yeah.
States.
And you're not technically on Earth
Yeah.
mentally.
No,
Yeah.
no, we're not.
Pre-GPS, pre-phones,
Pre-everything.
You didn't have MapQuest. There was
Yeah.
no Rolodex. All you had was a big folded maps back then.
Right.
So all of a sudden, one of my friends at the gas station we limped into, goes, oh my God, I think that's the pink guy. What do you have, a Grand Cherokee? It was
A white Grand Cherokee.
I was like, no, it's not. And this guy
Now
starts...
I am in the back seat
Yeah.
of the pink guy's white Grand Cherokee.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he goes, Captain, there's somebody running at the truck, Captain.
He starts running like the cop after the car in Terminator 2.
Right.
Like, it's like, I was like, that's not
And I was
the
like,
pink
it's
guy.
fine. He's like, Captain, the light's red.
Yeah.
He's like, what do I do? What do I do?
That's not him. And all of a sudden, I come up. I was bigger. I was slower. So I come up to the
slower.
car maybe like 20 seconds after Mark waved me and said, oh, it's Chris and pink guy and another guy. And I was like,
French
oh,
guy.
I was like, oh my God, there's no way it's them.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Because he's running at the car. And like, I'm about to be like,
Yeah.
just fucking go through the light.
Yeah.
And then I go, it's Titowski.
Yeah.
And he's like, shut up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I swear to God, it
this-
definitely is.
Yeah.
Hours after
Hours.
the show.
Hours
Yeah.
after the show.
Hours.
Miles away from where either
Yeah.
of you were supposed to be.
Oh, yeah.
Miles.
Miles. We were
It's
probably on opposite ends of
unbelievable.
DC.
It's, yeah. This
It's like,
is,
Yeah.
it seems like made up, but you
Crazy.
can't even make
it's
this
some
up.
cosmic shit.
yeah. Boom. All summer together.
The only car on the road
Yeah. It was dead.
is us.
I don't know why it was dead. It might
They
have
need
been
someone super bad.
Who knows?
And the only vehicle on the entire
Yeah.
road is us.
Yeah, I don't know if we had. I think we had the jumper cables, and we probably saw 2-3 other people, and they're like, "No, I can't give you a jump. I can't give you." And this is 20 minutes later. Another car goes by. 20 minutes later, and all of a sudden we saw Chris go by with pink guy driving, and we didn't know it was him.
Yeah.
We just thought that could be them.
Yeah.
I doubt it. I mean, they're just green, you know.
Yeah,
this
why
is
would
like
they
90
be here?
yeah.
They're at their campsite, yeah.
and probably
Right.
sleeping by now.
Exactly. Yeah, those guys are in bed.
Yeah, they're getting
so
ready for
crazy.
tomorrow's show because it's a 2-day show.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and then anyways, we go knocking. I think we might have had the jumper cables. I forget who had them. Maybe
Yeah,
Pink Guy did.
I don't
forget.
remember either.
So all of a sudden we jumped the car, and then you guys are like, we can't find our campsite. It's 3:00 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning. And we were like, well, our campsite's about 2 miles away from here. Now, if you want to sit with us or go with us,
Yeah.
that's how it's got to be then.
Right.
Well, we got our spot. Plenty of people can stay there. We got tents. You guys can sleep in the cars or bunk up with us. It doesn't matter.
Sure.
And lo and behold, at that time we had 8 people at our campsite that night.
Yeah.
So it was a good time. They never found, somewhere in '94, whoever found that campsite with a case of beer and a couple of tents and maybe some
Yeah, we
toothbrushes.
never found it.
They never
Really?
found
Ever?
it.
We
After
never
the whole
found
2
it.
days.
Yeah.
So all your shit was just left out there.
Yes.
Even the next day.
So if anyone ever found that cooler of beer,
So funny.
call into the show.
yeah,
There's some deadhead who lives in that tent now.
Yeah, probably.
just by still drinking that beer, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
All that beer was gone that night.
Yeah.
Don't fool yourself.
That's
My
so
tent
funny.
and our cooler
Crazy.
of beer
Crazy.
have been gone for 25 years, and I'm still looking for it.
Yeah, it's somewhere in D.C. So where's Waldo or where's Chris's stuff? If you can find it, you win something.
Yeah.
There is no like
Yeah, you win a guest appearance on the show.
Yeah, yeah.
that shows like the young kid just so excited to get to the show and get
Yeah.
to Shakedown,
Oh, yeah.
get to the lot. You just set your shit up and you just leave.
Oh, God,
And
yeah.
there's no trail of breadcrumbs
No,
or any way
no
to
Reese's
get back
Pieces.
here.
E.T. couldn't even find that campsite.
No, not at all. No way.
It was absolutely insane.
Dude, that's got to be so freaky too. To be, you're all fucked up, you're all scared.
Oh, yeah.
You're sitting in a strange city, and then someone's
like a
running
really
at your
bad,
car,
like
bad
really bad,
neighborhood,
like,
and
yeah.
someone's running at your car. I'd be like, "This is it. We
Yeah.
have to kill a guy."
Hit it.
Well, we went to McDonald's in the morning when it got light out, and I was like, it's even worse than I thought.
It's not supposed to look worse in
Like
the daylight.
in the 17 feet that it was from the car to the front door of McDonald's, I had 4 homeless people ask me to get them a fucking McMuffin.
Yeah,
You know,
They
It
stopped
was
serving
that
breakfast
kind
at
of bad.
10:30. You're out of luck.
yeah. I think
Yeah. Well, I'll take a quarter pounder.
I'll just take your cash.
take a quarter pound.
I know you will, but I ain't getting it for you.
With cheese, please.
I lost all my beer last night. I got to buy more beer today.
I know.
Hey, buddy.
That wasn't in the budget.
I don't know where my tent is. I'm homeless too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm right with you tomorrow night.
I'll be knocking on your box.
Yeah.
It was crazy. 'Cause-
Crazy.
I'll buy you a quarter pounder if you
Yeah.
teach me how to live out in the wild to survive one last night.
Yeah. Let's go around campgrounds. People don't come back sometimes. You might strike it rich.
Oh, man.
Dude, that's so funny. That cosmic shit.
Dude,
Like,
it's amazing that happened. Amazing.
there are those things. And when you're in that state of mind, things seem a little more magical.
Yeah.
But
Sure,
no,
well, of
that's,
course.
Yeah,
That's-
But that
insane.
was pure magic.
I was like, no, that's not Chris. He can't save us.
he can't save us. He's not saving us now.
You guys saved each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at
we
that.
really did.
Yeah, started the car, got us home.
One hand washes the other.
Yeah.
Those headlights are still pointing up, I bet. That
Somewhere.
was crazy.
All googly eyed. I like how you guys come out, like if the headlights were the eyes that fell out, you come out of the show and the car looks like you too. Like the eyes are all crooked and glassy.
Well, if you look at it in that state of mind,
it's like looking in a mirror.
yeah.
those eyes are straight.
The people who look like their dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, the
look
best
like
is
your
when we
car.
started the car. All of a sudden at night, because you get in the car maybe around 12:30, 1 o'clock to head home, or to go to the campsite, and then all of a sudden I looked at the beams, and I was like, "This isn't right." That duct tape's got them in there. I don't know how.
I can't even believe it worked.
I don't know how it worked.
I remember
There's
seeing
no
the duct
way.
tape and being like, whoa.
There's no way with a new car you can do that because you'd have to tear the whole front on off to get the.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
There's
You'd
too
have
much
to have
electrical.
an old car to do it.
I don't know how we did it.
I don't know how you did it.
It was like screwing in a light
But
bulb.
I do remember seeing all the duct tape
And then
and
putting
shit,
like a
being
half roll of
what
duct
the
tape.
fuck?
Yeah, we're good, right?
I can't believe that's all on there.
Yeah.
I love. I
They
can
duct tape
picture
their
it.
car together.
I can
Yeah.
picture just a young fucking arrogance of just being like, dude, we got it.
We got
Look
it.
at that. We fixed it.
Yeah, look at us.
What's the big deal?
We turned the car on. We put the lights on.
Turn it on and
We
off.
pulled the knob out, and the lights came on.
None of us even went to mechanical school.
Yeah.
We were like, golden. Let's go into the show.
Yeah.
Or let's drink.
Dude,
you know,
let's open
10
a
beers
garage.
each.
Let's
Yeah.
open. We could do this. Look
Yeah.
how easy that was.
I
We
didn't
could do this.
Yeah.
I don't even need
Let's
tools.
open a garage.
Fix cars.
Yeah, duct tapes are us.
Duct tapes are us.
That's all we need.
Can't-
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, you can't fix it, duck it. If you can't duck it, fuck it.
That's right.
Yeah, man. There's some,
Crazy,
there's some
crazy
magical
stuff.
shit going on around that band.
Oh, yeah.
There really was.
There really was. There's
And that's
no doubt
one
about
of millions of stories.
Oh, yeah.
millions.
That was just
Which
you
I've
guys.
already told a couple on this
Yeah.
show. You know.
Everybody who filled that stadium had some crazy
Oh, yeah.
story that
I'm
night.
sure they're
More than
better
likely.
event.
Yeah.
They're better event. That's why you were there.
And it was 110,000.
It's a little bit smaller than that, but I would say
Well, with the field?
I would like say 80s, probably
No,
mid 80s.
it was 80,000 just the.
Because I don't think the
stands.
backside was
Oh,
filled up.
that's right. They didn't fill that.
didn't
All
fill
right,
all
so
the
you're
way.
probably right. 80 to 90,000,
Yeah.
maybe.
That's so
crazy stories.
Yeah, and then another 20 or 30,000 people that couldn't get in because
Yeah.
they
Oh,
needed
yeah.
a miracle.
That was
and
back
couldn't
in the
get
day
one.
when people were rushing the gates too, because they had.
Dude,
some
that was the
troubles.
best.
They had some troubles in the early 90s with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that whole gate crasher story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was still super fun to rush the gate though.
Oh yeah. Got in a
so
few.
much fun.
Freedom.
Well, Buckeye
I guess.
Lake, and,
Yeah.
and we got
Oh,
to
it was
we got to
100,000
sit
people.
super close because we were young
Yeah.
and we could all run.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. That was every man for
We
himself.
could beat all these old hippies.
Yeah.
we're in the fifth row.
Just
It
triple.
was fantastic. Just triple.
Yeah, throw a nickel down. You'll stop 3,000 people.
Oh man, those were good times. Really good times.
Crazy
yeah,
times.
man. Just a different way to experience shit like that.
Oh yeah. Those days are all gone.
Because it's so much more adventure. Like, you look in now, I guess it's great, the convenience and whatnot, but never would have gotten lost.
Yeah.
You would have pulled up your map, your Google Maps,
Oh, yeah.
found an
You would have
AutoZone.
pinged it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You just would have scanned your phone and paid for everything. It would have been, everything would have gone smoothly. And
Oh, yeah.
sometimes that's the worst thing that could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause then it's just boring.
Yeah.
You
Then
wouldn't-
we
you wouldn't have a story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
But then on the other
And
hand,
we got a hell of a story we've been holding on to for 25
Oh
years.
yeah.
on the
Yeah.
other hand, there was almost like 14 dead white kids.
Yeah. I know.
True.
A few times over too.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny, man.
What a story. Yeah.
Then there's that other one. You've got a few dead stories. There was the Jerry Garcia almost killed a girl. When
Yeah,
you pointed out.
that
There's
was
a video
great.
of
Oh, yeah.
that available on the Captain's Jug YouTube page.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it's all over the
That was a
Patreon.
good one.
Let's plug some shows, and then we'll take our break, and we'll come back with more stories. 420, Friendly Foes at the Jug.
Friendly foes.
May the 4th, Friendly Foes at the Jug with outside, hope weather permitting. That'll be an outdoor gig.
That's going to be our first outdoor show of the year, and we're gonna back that up on Cinco de Mayo with
yes,
another
the
show.
next day, yeah. So that whole weekend will be
So
music, right?
that weekend's going to be music outside
Back
all
to back.
weekend. It's going to be fantastic. I hope everybody comes out to see it.
Yeah. Sure, that's good for now. And then
Yeah.
Patreon, Captain's Jug, go to the Facebook, share stuff, make memes or something. I don't know. You get some kids on
Whatever you
this.
can do, yeah.
We don't understand this new world, okay?
Right.
It scares me. It moves too
Tell
fast.
your children
Yeah.
that you need help.
Yeah.
And make them share our stuff everywhere.
Make it go viral. I'm just, okay, do it. I don't know. You got to get a cat dancing or something.
There we go. That would be perfect.
All right, Captain's Jug thoughts.
We'll be back.
Broke down, blown down, torn at the seams. Just wait till they get a load of me. I got a scratch back, my bone cracked, and I probably bleeds. I wait till they get a load of me. You guys good?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Sounds, yes. Captain's Jug of Thoughts.
We're back.
We all got lost when we were taking a break is the craziest thing. I'm on one side of town. He's on the other side of the town. All of a sudden,
Boom.
boom, we're all together.
I can't believe we found each other.
Craziest thing.
That's how it goes.
Well, that story, I mean, I'm sure anybody listening who's had similar experiences, that story reminds them of a story they had.
It's got to.
Because, I mean, yeah, those shows have a magical thing around them.
They certainly do.
Years ago, me and two of my friends went to Syracuse to see Phish. And Phish has just gotten back together, and it was great. It's this huge thing. So we go, parking lot, everything you guys said. And we set up in a hotel that was within walking distance to the venue.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, you got to. You have to be within walking distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you get something that's not in walking distance, you get lost in a city.
Yes.
In a strange city.
And your stuff's still at the campground 25 years later.
25 years later, still looking for my cooler of beer.
There's probably people who worship your city. That's probably still there. And it's like Stonehenge. They don't know where it came from. And they all just study it and worship it.
Maybe he's coming back. Maybe
Yeah.
he is.
It'd be great if you went back 25 years later and there was just a sign that said, Captain's Lost Jug of Thoughts.
That's so funny. So, yeah, we get a hotel. We're all set up. We go into the show. We meet a friend in the parking lot who helps us out with some stamps. And we were stamp collecting at the time. And we took our stamps and went into the show. And we had seats in different areas of the arena. So we separated for the entire time. I went off to my area and made friends with the guys there. And then at set break, I was I'm going to go wander around and see if I can find those guys.
Yeah.
And I couldn't. I walked around the whole venue, circled multiple times around the ring around where all the vendors and stuff are, and saw some people I knew, but I never saw either of them.
Friends, where are you?
Yeah. And I think, we didn't have phones, or maybe I don't know. I don't know. We weren't contacting each other. So I never saw them. And then after the show, it was pretty dope. They played Good Times, Bad Times, which was awesome.
Sweet.
And I think Fish's dad was there because they live around there, upstate somewhere.
Yeah, upstate New York.
The Fishman's dad?
Yeah, Fishman's dad.
The dentist?
Yes. And
Yeah.
they're if you've gotten it, give it up for the dentist. And everyone claps.
Yeah. That's
I
definitely it.
remember,
Yep.
And they, he was, At one point during set break, when the house lights were up, I did see a guy he was trying to run away from security, jumping over rows of chairs, and they were
The
grabbing
best
him.
seeing that kind
And
of
they were
shit.
grabbing him and ripping him apart, and it was just whoa. And I was all in the state of mind where that type of thing was horrifying.
It was probably our friend Pat.
Oh my God,
oh
they're
my
not coming
God.
after me next, are they?
Yeah.
It was Pat.
I never found those guys until after the show. I find my buddy Tim, and I'm in a great mood because it was a great show and everything's fucking going according to everything's coming up Millhouse, man. Everything was great. And I
My
find
cuffs are bone dry.
and I'm dude, where were you? I was wandering around. I never saw you guys or anything. He's dude, I did not leave my seat the whole time. I've just been sitting there, just quietly
Staring.
You see that guy at shows?
Oh, absolutely.
That
I've
was him
seen a
this
bunch
time.
of those guys at
I've
shows.
been that guy sometimes.
Sure, I have too.
Where you're just I don't want any human contact. I want to escape reality for a little bit.
Who's this guy all by himself?
Pete, we were at one show one time, and Pete's ex was are you okay? And I was I'm more than okay.
Yeah. You don't have to ask.
I'm Fonzie Cool.
That's right.
So he was Fonzie cool that night. I'm all right, cool, man, whatever. And we're on around. We never find our third friend. We go in the parking lot. There's people playing music. I get a burrito, and we start eating the burrito. And my buddy goes, I just realized I've been grinding my teeth for the last 6 hours. And it hurt to eat the burrito. And we couldn't find this guy. We're maybe he's back at the hotel. And then we realize we have less than zero clue how to get back to the hotel.
Right.
No fucking idea. It's exactly your
Strange how
story.
that happens. Huh?
Same thing with the campsite earlier. This is why it reminded me of it, because you get so jazzed up. You just put your bag down and run out the door.
Right.
And then at night, you're I can't even.
How did we get here?
I've never been to this city before. And I voluntarily took away all of my instincts and common sense. So we have no idea. So we're just kind of start walking.
Right.
And I remember being at a street corner, waiting for a stoplight, and there's all these, people from the show around us. And there was an older than us couple, probably in their 30s, and they were you know, it's us now looking at the dumb kids. That was us. And I remember, like, we were like, yeah, we're looking for a hotel. And, like, we were trying to get them to help us. I don't remember. Well, we'll help you. Where's your hotel? What's it called? And that's when we're like...
Yeah. I don't know that either.
And I remember...
I'm not sure if I have an answer for you.
I know. And I remember looking at her and being like, we're not that easy to help right now. That's the sentence that I vividly remember that. Because I was like, did those words make sense? I hope they did. They felt weird coming out. And they just laughed and were okay. Somehow, just somehow, we made it back. I kind of remember
nice.
seeing like...
At least you made it back.
Like the light up. Like I was like, a Hilton, a Marriott? I have no fucking idea.
Right.
And I saw like...
There's a red roof in.
Yeah, you're right. We were younger. It was probably something shitty. Yeah.
Paid by the hour hotel.
Paid by the hour.
Yeah, it was a motel.
Don't sleep on
You
no
guys going to
sheets.
need this for an hour or for the whole night?
So we found it. Fine, thank God. And we get up to the room and we go in, and our long lost friend is in there, and we're like, "What the? How is he already here? Like, what the fuck?" And it was like in the
He knew
Fear
what was up the whole time.
in Fear and Loathing. Yeah, he found it.
Yeah.
It was like in Fear and Loathing when he comes into the room and like the sheets are all over the place, and you're like, "What the fuck's been going on in here?"
Right.
And he's by himself, and he's like, "Dude," and we're like, "What?" He's like, "I don't know."
I don't
And
know.
he was like, he was just crazed.
Yeah.
And we were like, we were crazed too, but like controlled crazed.
Yeah.
And we're like, what the fuck? When did you leave the show? What? He's like, I don't even know. So here's what happened.
We went to a show.
On the way up there, I should have said this earlier. On the drive up there, the movie The Happening had just come out.
Okay.
The M. Night Shyamalan movie with Marky Mark and John Leguizamo, and something crazy's happening. The whole movie, they can't figure out what's going on. There's this crazy, and the whole world is reacting. There's an event, and they call it the event. So we're talking about this movie, probably just being like, this movie sucks, Marky Mark sucks, blah, blah, blah. And it must have stuck in some part of his brain, and the stamps activated that. And he said he was like all fucked up, and he was wandering around the show, and he got outside at one point, and he saw a group of people running, and that was it. And it set him off, and he's like,
Oh my
"This
God.
is it. It's going down."
It's going down.
And he remembered, like he was having a hard time like telling us what was happening and the story. And he's like, he saw people running, and he's like, "What?" And he's like, "What's happening?" They're probably just trying to like.
Should I be running too?
Yeah, they're probably
Movies
just
are
trying to.
coming to
Is it Godzilla?
They're probably trying to make it to the train, so they can time out their balloons.
Yeah. Wah, 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 wah.
Exactly.
And he just starts freaking out. Like it set his brain off, and he's by himself. Nobody's there to be like, "Hey man, relax. You're
Yeah,
just
calm
thinking
down."
about Marky Mark. Marky Mark's not here. That was a movie. It's not happening.
He's
We're
not in
good."
his underpants either.
So he freaked out. And then at one point he said he saw people getting in a cab, and he went and like opened the door to the cab and was like, "Let me come, let me in," like because he's
Oh my
thinking the
God.
world is fucking ending.
Yeah.
And they were like, "What? No."
Close the door. Close the door.
Yeah. And
It's
he
a
was
crazy person.
Yeah.
running around.
It's a guy
panicking,
running after him out down the street like
trying
Terminator.
to like get people, and he just was having all this crazy confusion and shit. And then at one point, I guess he found the hotel. I don't know how, but he's like,
Hey, that's my place, man.
and then I was like, we were talking. I was like, dude, Jay just brought up. I was like, at set break, there was security like tackling a guy who was running around. And he just got this dead look on his face. But I know it wasn't him, because I saw the guy was wearing like one of those patchwork Grateful Dead hoodies. Like he had like dreadlocks and shit. It definitely wasn't my friend.
Right.
But the look on his face was, he's like, that might have been me. I was like, dude, the whole arena, like the lights were up. The whole arena was watching this guy get his ass kicked. He's like, that might have, I don't know, maybe. He was so freaked out. We're like, how much of the show did you see? He's like, I have no idea. And he said like he came out, looked out the window, and was like picturing like something crazy's happening.
Devastation.
And then we're like, no, it was awesome. They played Zeppelin.
We're all safe.
Yeah, it's all good, man. And he's like, it just fucking threw him for a loop. And he thought he thought there was a happening. He thought there was a happening, and he was Marky
Thought
Mark.
the happening was happening.
And he was running. I was like, there was a happening. You totally missed it.
Yeah, there's nothing happening.
There was a happening. You totally missed it.
Yeah.
It was a great show.
Yeah, you left early.
The dentists, big black furry creatures from Mars, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
And it was just so funny, and it took him a minute to calm down. But I do remember, like, at one point just begging him to stop, because it had been about 3 minutes before I took a solid breath, because I was laughing so hard. Like, I was just crazy
best.
to watch your friend, because you know it's fine.
Yeah.
But you watch him like have a fucking
flipping
meltdown.
out.
Like, you know when a baby's crying and you kind of start laughing because they're making funny faces and you know that everything's okay.
Right.
Yeah, like, I don't know, dude. It was so funny.
That's
And
good.
yeah,
There was something
needless
happening.
to say, yeah, the
just
world
didn't see
didn't
it.
end. We're all good. We found our hotel. I don't know how the fuck he found the hotel. He thought the existence was going to cease to be.
Yeah.
Right.
And he found the hotel.
And he felt like, thank you, the best place to be was in the hotel. That's
Yeah.
where no one would find him.
He bunkered
I
down.
guess. Yeah, let me get right up to the 6th floor in case all the buildings collapse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm safe
Let me
here.
get right up to the 6th floor.
I'm safe.
Just him like freaking out, like seeing people running around. Because I know that vibe when like something triggers and you're like, whoa, is that like when you see security gathering
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you get that feeling, you're like, God damn.
Right.
You know what's coming down.
Yeah, you get that weird, sketchy, something bad's happening feeling.
Yeah.
And that just set him off. And I think the fact that we talked about that movie on the way up was in the back of his head.
Something triggered it.
yeah,
for sure.
it must have
Yeah.
been. So the other day, I had to fill in the other day for a day shift. And I wasn't feeling at the top of my game. And I opened the doors at 11:58.
The day came quick.
And, we open at noon. I opened the doors at 11:58. At 11:59, I wasn't even back behind the bar yet again. The door opens, and I'm like, fuck, it's going to be one of those days. Yeah. I'm just kind of like, man, I kind of hope that. And believe me, I always want people here. Always. But I wanted 10 minutes to gather myself.
Yeah.
And I didn't get 48 seconds into it.
Let me get a half of water down before someone walks in.
Right. So anyway, so I have like this. I wouldn't say go as far as say crazy, but like semi-crazy lunch, which is really good, But as soon as the lunch kind of like slows down, we generally during the week anyway have like a lull between like 2 and 4 o'clock when happy hour starts, where we might only have like a few customers and whatever. Well, that particular day, we have this customer that comes in. This guy comes in, and he's fucking sweating bullets.
Really?
And he's like, Jesus Christ, man. Holy shit, man. He's like, you got fucking paper towels or napkins or something? I'm like, yeah, I got fucking paper towels. I got napkins. I'm like, I got whatever you need, buddy. I'm like, you okay?
He's sweating through
And
his suit.
he's like, yeah, dude. He's like, oh, you're not even fucking gonna believe what just happened to me. And I'm like, probably not, but you can go ahead and tell me anyway. So he proceeds to tell me this story about how he was out in the middle of the river and somehow he crossed into Canadian waters while he was hooking a 54-inch muskie.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay? So immediately I'm like, this story probably is not true.
That's a fishing
Yeah.
story.
He goes, so I got this thing all the way into the bank. He goes, you know where Stella is? I go, yeah, I know where Stella is.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know where Stella is like it's a school, like a private school that there's nuns and
Yeah, it's like a Catholic
very
thing. Yeah,
Catholic,
yeah.
And
It's a really cool building.
it's
Oh, yeah.
it's
It's
an
super creepy.
unbelievably cool building, and I don't know if
Yeah.
you guys knew this, but like in the basement, they have all the tiles are like old Nazi tiles.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
There's-
really?
Near
Yeah.
the
That's
gymnasium,
funny.
there's Nazi tiles going in.
Yeah,
But
see?
that's an old
Yeah.
Catholic symbol.
Yeah.
It's an old
Which
Catholic
that
that
was-
took over, yeah.
That
So-
was this backward swastikas all over Japan.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 So he proceeds to tell me that he gets to the shoreline, and he's reeling this thing in, and as soon as he gets in, now if anyone is familiar with Stella, it's on the opposite side of the street of the river, and it's about 500 yards from the water.
Yeah.
He
It's
get-
not
when he's-
on the
when he-
water. It's
by
on-
any means.
No, there's that giant hill, and
There's
then
a-
there's a
yes.
big
Big flat
plot
part.
of land.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's
Acres of
across
land.
the
He
street
gets to
from
the
that.
land and he's reeling this thing in, and all the priests and the nuns from Stella came out to yell at him and tell him that he had to throw the fish back in the water.
There's no way.
So I'm like, okay, this story's totally not true.
Yeah, yeah.
He had the longest line in the world.
Dude, no, that was just the beginning. So I'm like, and he goes, but I got it. And I'm like, oh, where is it? And he goes, the captain's bringing it back. And I go, I'm right here. And he goes, what? And I was like, what? And he was like, what? And I was like, what? Because I was like, I'm just going to fuck with this guy now.
Yeah.
He goes, no. He's like, the captain's, he's like, from the boat. And I was like, wait, I was like, were you on a boat or were you on shore? He goes, well, I was on a boat. And then the captain dropped me off at shore so that I could reel this thing all the way in. Yeah. I go, you couldn't do it from the boat? He's like, no, he was rowing the boat. I go, so
You're
it was
in a rowboat.
I go, so it was a rowboat?
That's not a fucking captain. That's just the other guy in the rowboat.
So I go,
The guy that has to do
I
the
go,
work.
where's the captain? I go, where's the captain now? He goes, he should be rowing up any minute.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, I can't tell anymore if I'm fucking with him or if he's fucking with me.
Yeah.
So then he goes, seriously, he's like, what's your name, bro? And I go, Chris. He goes, Chris, I'm Julius. I go, nice to meet you, Julius. Not 8 seconds go by. He goes, yo, Julius, can I get a...
Jesus.
And I go, what? I go, you're Julius. He goes, what? I go, my name's not Julius.
Yeah. I'm the captain.
I go, you're Julius.
I'm rowing the boat.
He's like, I'm not Julius. He goes, I'm not Julius. I go, well, then who the fuck's Julius?
Yeah.
He
So
goes,
who
I don't-
else is in the
he
bar
goes,
at the
I don't
time?
know.
Who else is he? Are you by yourself with this guy?
I'm by myself at first,
Yeah.
and then more people start coming in.
Okay, good. Because I'm like, my first thought is like, this is some sort of escaped mental patient.
Yeah.
And he's gonna murder me in the jug.
Well, my thought is still that.
Your favorite person was the person that walked in after him.
Yeah, which was Mike,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
owner,
Yeah.
and his son Matt. And he made some comment, and Mike made some like off the cuff comment back, and the dude's like, "Why would you say that to me?" And he's like, Mike's like, "What?" Now Mike doesn't know that
Yeah.
this guy
He's insane.
Nuts.
is
yeah.
apparently an escaped mental patient.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, no, seriously, like, I just don't know why you would say something like that to me. Like, you think that that's fucking funny to, like, make fun of other people's, bad things that happen to other people? And Mike was like, dude, I'm just fucking with you.
fuck
He's
are you
like,
talking about?
I'm just busting your chops. He goes, well, why would you do that? And I go, because that's what we do around here, dude.
Yeah.
We bust each other's chops.
Yeah.
It's fucking funny.
It's like good
Have a
fellas.
giggle and move on.
You think I'm funny?
And he's like, all right. He's like, I didn't know. I didn't really get it. I don't know if I still do. And I'm like, well, if you don't get it, then there's nothing we can really do about it. You know, so down here we tell jokes and we think it's funny, and we're not like, hoping for bad things for you. We just are busting your chops a little bit. He's like, oh, all right. So everybody around here fucking thinks they're funny. And I'm like, wow, this is just fucking crap.
Unnecessarily confrontational.
Yeah.
And you've never seen this guy before.
Ever in my life. And I assume that I will never see him again.
Hopefully not, right?
Why not? Jesus.
No. So I found out that the
Julius.
reason that he was so sweaty was because he rode his bike here, apparently from Stella, away from the nuns and priests.
Without his fish, and he's got a guy on a
No, but he
rowboat.
did have a fishing pole.
Okay.
Yeah.
He really did.
Where did you pick that up from?
That means he
Yeah, exactly.
escaped from his hospital. The Indian guy threw the water thing through the window, and he got out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
I think he might have been an Indian, too.
no, okay, there you go.
He picked up the fountain.
And then he did a Frankenstein and threw a fisherman into the river.
Yeah.
He took his pole and his
pole,
bike
yeah.
and made up a backstory.
Yeah.
He had all bases covered.
So
He's very
he,
sensitive for.
He sure was. So then he's like, Matt ends up making friends with him because Matt, of course, makes friends with
Those
him.
two hit it off.
This guy's all right.
And
Yo, did you meet Julius?
he's like, you know what? He's like, you know what? I guess you guys are okay. He's like, let me buy you guys a drink. So he buys them a drink. And then, he proceeds to tell him how he is an army sergeant in the military. And then, I don't know, he had 3 different titles.
Yeah.
That were all the highest ranking titles in the
course.
military.
He gave the guy in the rowboat captain.
And
this
he's-
guy,
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
it doesn't take much to impress him.
And then he was Rick Manning's son. And for those of you who don't know Rick Manning was
baseball player.
from LaSalle,
Yep.
and he made the major leagues in baseball in like the 70s.
Yeah.
And this guy's 51 years old. He's like, yeah, my name's Mark Manning. And I was like, what happened to Julius?
Yeah, who's Julius?
And he was like, why do you keep saying that? And I was like, what?
And he's
what's
the one
going
who's
on
like,
here?
what is wrong with these people?
Yeah.
These people are crazy.
And then another friend of ours, Mike, came in, and he was like, dude, his name wasn't Mark or Julius. Julius. It was Jason. And I was like, is that what he told you? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, wow. I was like, this guy is special.
Oh, yeah. Got 6 middle names. He used them all.
So then, Matt starts talking to him about the military, and Matt's like, oh, man. He's like, that's cool. He's like, so you were in the Black Ops? And he's like, there's no such thing as the Black Ops. He's like, who told you about the Black Ops? That's not even a real thing.
Oh no.
You've
been compromised.
He's like,
Here we go again.
You've been compromised. He's like, I was in the Special Ops, though. Have you ever heard of the Special Ops? I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Get this guy out of here.
So then, anyway, like, he's like, dude, you know where to get a haircut around here? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, there's 2 places. I'm like, 1 right next door, and 2, 4 places down. And he's like, well, I'm going to go to the one right next door. And I'm like, have at it, bud.
You do that, yeah.
So he goes and he gets, and he really did. He went, got a haircut, and came back because he had pretty long hair. And then he came back and he had really short hair.
He's on the fucking run.
He might be.
He did a pony boy, and he's
He
going to cut
might
and bleach
be.
his hair,
Yeah.
and he's got to get out of town.
Dude, you know what's funny about that?
he didn't stay golden.
Is that all Mike's friends that Matt has worked with call him Pony Boy.
There you go.
I can't believe he brought up Pony Boy.
That's one of those Grateful Dead cosmic connections.
So then, like,
So this guy's obviously on the run.
So the guy finally fucking leaves, and this other guy, Mike, that we know, we call him Polish Mike. He calls himself Polish Mike and asks us to call him Polish Mike.
Yeah.
Which is
That's
fine.
cool, yeah.
So
You guys make fun
Polish
of people
Mike
for being
comes in.
Polish around here? I didn't know that's. I didn't
know that was a thing.
That's how we do. I didn't know we were doing that.
No, I didn't know we were doing that. All right.
know we making fun of Polish
Call me
people here.
Italian, Mike. Then.
Yeah.
So Polish Mike comes in. He's like, "You're not gonna fucking believe what just happened to me over at the Mug and Musket." And I'm like,
Let me guess, Julius walked in.
I go, "Did a guy named Julius walk in?" And he goes, "What?" And I go, "What?"
That's great.
He goes, "This fucking crazy motherfucker came in there."
Yeah, it's awesome.
And asked me, because I have a bunch of tattoos, if I'm in the Aryan Nation. He goes, so we threw him the fuck out.
Jesus
So they threw him out,
Christ.
and no one's seen him since.
Thank God.
He's in the Black Ops.
I think he's definitely. Because then if someone comes by and says, "Have you seen this man? What was his name?"
Yeah.
He's gonna have different hair,
Oh, yeah.
and they're gonna, and 10 different people are gonna have a different answer for what his name was.
Yeah, his name was Jason Markus Julius.
Yeah.
Jason
covering all
Marcus
bases.
Julius. That's so funny. You're never gonna fucking believe what happened.
Dude, I was like, as soon as he said it, I was like, I'm gonna believe it.
Yeah.
You're not going to believe what I have to tell you.
And then
Yes, I will.
I'm at breakfast yesterday, and this other dude that had come in here at that time, he goes, "Dude, how much longer did that crazy dude stay the other day?" And I was like, about 5 minutes after you. He's like, "Dude, I had my kids with me. I had to get the fuck out of there."
Yeah.
He's like, "I was scared for my children." And I'm like, "I don't blame you."
That's so, dude. I hate that shit.
He
I
he didn't do anything harmful, and there was barely
But that
anyone here.
tension in
so
the
I
air.
just-
Oh, yeah, you can
so
feel
I
it.
was like, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know what, this might be a good little bit for my podcast. You
Yeah.
know?
Oh my God. Yeah.
And so I just kept letting it go. Like, I'm gonna let this ride.
We should get him on those slow days.
It was like I was at the casino and I was up big.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let it ride.
Yeah, if you have 16 names and you're listening to this, you might want to come back here on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, come back on a Wednesday night. We'll put you on the air, and me and Thurman won't even say a word for an hour.
Yeah.
You obviously have a very
We
vivid
won't need
imagination.
We're taking off.
Like the priests and the nuns came out and told him to put the fish back in the water.
Yeah.
600 yards up the bank.
Yeah. You're taking one of God's children's out of its natural habitat. And oh, by the way, that turned from a 54-inch muskie to a 30-inch pike to something. I can't remember the last one, but then it was 27. It kept getting smaller.
Yeah.
Which is really strange because usually when you start telling a story and the time goes by as you're telling the story, whatever
fish
you
gets bigger.
caught or whatever you shot or whatever gets bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just kept getting smaller.
You can't outthink crazy.
That's so.
Another reason he was obviously nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
Yeah.
all ass backwards.
I know. And I kind of feel bad for him because he's like, why is everybody being so weird?
Yeah.
Why doesn't anybody
They're
like
so mean
me?
around here.
I don't know, man. That's crazy. You think he just wandered down here? How did he get here?
It's like when someone's slipping into senility. Like they get the benefit of meeting new people every day.
Yeah.
I got new friends every day.
Got a hair. Nah, he's definitely on the run from some shit.
Yeah,
he came in
I
here,
think so, too.
started some crazy ass alibis, gave a bunch of fake names, got a haircut.
And then he's out.
Yeah,
He's like a
Then
fart.
And he's out.
He's like a fart in the wind. He's out of here.
Yeah, well, that's good because I hate that when there's that tension and
Oh,
when
yeah,
someone
it sucks.
leaves, you're like, all right, that person was fine, but at the same time, you're like, this could go so weird so quickly.
It could have gotten really bad. And at one point, he actually was like, "Yo, Chris, can you watch my bike?" He figured out my name was actually Chris, not Julius. And
You look like a Julius.
and I was like, listen, dude, no fucking promises, you know. Like I'm
Yeah.
like, but I'll do you this. I'm like, just put it on the porch. He's like, well, it's on the porch. I'm like, then it'll be fine. He's like, dude, that's $1,000 bike. I don't want it getting stolen. And I was like, listen, dude, it's not going to get stolen. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to bring it inside. And I'm like, no, don't bring it inside.
Yeah.
And then he goes out there and he starts bringing it out in. And I'm like, take the fucking bike back outside, dude.
Jesus.
I told you not to bring it in here. He's like, all right, sorry, bro.
He ain't listening.
And then he
Especially
comes
when-
back in. Listen to what he says then. He goes, it's just that, you know, that bike was a fucking gift from my dead girlfriend.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go.
I was like, you fucking kidding me right now? First of all, you said it cost $1,000.
Yeah.
And now you're fucking now it's from your dead girlfriend? Like,
Plus,
I
I had a
definitely-
54-inch pike in the
like,
back end. You don't want
Jesus
that.
Christ.
You don't want that pike inside the building for too
no,
long.
fuck no. Dude, your bike stinks.
Yeah.
Smells like your dead girlfriend.
Yeah, she
No pun
used to ride it. Yeah.
Oh, that was the comment that Mike made. I forgot. Because he was talking about he didn't want his bike to get stolen. He goes, so what? And it was right when Mike walked in. He goes, oh, I just saw some kid riding off on a bike.
Oh, jeez.
What an innocent dad joke.
Yeah, exactly.
What a funny.
The guy
That was,
wanted to
that
kill
was
him.
what it was. That's what
Don't
started
joke about
off the
people
whole
stealing
thing.
bikes, man.
Yeah. He's like, why would you say that?
That's my ride.
That's all right. It's like it's a bike. What are you, fucking Pee Wee Herman? Who gives a shit? It's a bike.
Right.
There's no
bike.
My bike.
There is a basement at the jug.
Yeah. Well, I think there's some truth in that. There's definitely a dead girl in this guy's past somewhere.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, hopefully he gets the help he needs. That reminds
I
me
certainly hope so.
of DC when there's a lot of those people around DC and they're standing at the waiting to cross the street.
Craziness.
And this she looked like Cedric the Entertainer.
She?
Yeah, she looked like Cedric the Entertainer, but it wasn't Cedric the Entertainer. It was Cedric the crack addict. And I just remember, like, I didn't look right at her, but I could sense her next to me, like picking at her fucking scalp. And she just goes, "Can you buy me a salad?"
She was digging.
And I just ignored it. "Can you buy me a salad?"
Yeah.
Yeah, but she didn't cause any trouble. Good.
This guy,
That's
this guy was something else. But he, I believe he moved on to the next town. So, Alcott, I'm sorry that we sent him your way.
Keep a
Good
heads
luck.
up, yeah. It's like the bear. It's like every day in the paper. He's in Lancaster now.
He's in Link.
He was heading east, so look out, Alcott.
Yeah. Look out for a man with either long or short hair named Julius. May or may not have a Phish or John or Paul or whatever the fuck his name was.
With a $1,000 bike.
There might be a gang of nuns and a priest following him.
He's a crusade leader.
Yeah. All right. Captain's Jug of Thoughts. Thank you for listening. Thanks for coming down, man.
No problem.
Yeah, really appreciate it, man.
That's a great
Thanks
story.
for having me.
I want to cut. We got to make that story into one of those like old Coppola movies where it's like split screen.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like two different
dude.
stories happening at the same time.
Right.
And then they meet
Two
together.
pieced together, yep.
Yeah, we could do some artsy 70s shit.
So come on down every Sunday starting May. Well, we're going to kick it off on Saturday, May 4th, but then May 5th. And then every Sunday for the whole summer, 3 to 6 o'clock, live music at the Jug. So make sure you come down, see everybody. It's going to be a great summer. Can't wait to see everyone.
Yeah, man, we're excited. Good stuff coming. Keep sharing the shows. Keep listening. Keep telling everybody you know about it.
Yeah, shout out to Hot Dog.
Shout out to Hot Dog. Shout out Julius.
Yeah.
Shout
Steve,
out
Mark, John, whatever your
Steve,
name is.
Mark, John, Paul, George, Ringo, whatever the fuck your name is.
Even Keith.
All right, Captain Jug of Thoughts. Keep listening. Broke down till they get a load of me.